magic, let's dive in.
So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the Terran's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place.
In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Lunar affinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hey, hi everyone. Hey Jazz, welcome in. How are you? Hope you're having a good night. So Jazz, we're just doing donations only tonight. You're funny. Oh, you're gonna donate? Okay, that sounds good. Oh, I'm happy to hear you're doing good. I'm doing well too. No worries. We're just hanging out. Whenever I catch your live on time, it's never free. Yes, now? Oh, sorry, girl. Jazz, okay, so you sent her a mini reading. Oh, you said you're not complaining. You find it hilarious. You're just going to use the question you posted at the top as your donation question? Okay, perfect. Let me throw that on the screen. Yeah, Jupiter, I would just recommend staying away from the e-check donations. Just making sure that the money is ready to be transferred out of your account immediately. I've never run into this problem before. So I would just avoid the e-checks, maybe use like Cash App in the future or something if you think it's going to be a problem. Let me shuffle for you, Jazz. All right. Will Leo and Ajaz be instantly attracted to one another when they finally meet in person? Will they be instantly attracted to one another when they finally meet in person? So I don't know. I'm gonna say that you guys can tell that there's something there that you want to still explore. But I feel like you almost are wondering when you meet, is this more like a friend vibe or is this like a something more vibe? And I think that you're both open to exploring that further. So I think it's kind of mutual, Ajaz. So here's the thing. You may be an attractive person, but I think that you can still be unsure if, like, I don't know how to explain this. Like, sometimes you just feel like someone's energy and you see with them physically and you're like, wow, they're like a really good looking person. But it doesn't matter how good someone looks. If they don't have that like chemistry, it's not going to matter. And so I feel like it has nothing to do with looks. This attraction that I'm picking up on, it has to do more with like the vibe. It has more to do with the chemistry between the two of you. And I'm not saying that it's not going to be there at all, but you're wanting to know if you're going to be instantly attracted. And I feel like there's a big question mark. 7 of Cups, 9 of Swords. I feel like it might be, I don't know. And see, here's the thing. I feel like you guys enjoy one another's company. And I feel, oh, hey, thank you for the donation. I'll be with you shortly. I feel like you guys are like, okay, yeah, like this was a good first date to kind of get out of the way. I think both of you want to leave there wanting to see each other again. Then I think maybe the flirting and the chemistry and things like that after start to develop. Okay. So my advice is to see this through and don't make quick judgments off of the first time together. I think you should at least explore this into a second or third date and then make a decision, because I think what's happening is that maybe it's the nerves or the like newness of it all, not really knowing each other, like is kind of getting in the way of what could possibly develop here between the two of you. So like I said, it doesn't mean you're not going to be attracted to each other. It doesn't mean you're not going to think each other is good looking. I think it's just going to take some time for the situation to develop. But in my opinion, things that take longer to cook taste better in the end. Instant, not so much. So I don't think it's a bad thing either. Yeah, I think that you just got to let things kind of develop and go from there. So get yourself through the first date, still being very open to spending time with each other and liking being in each other's company. Get to like the second or third date. I feel like that's where the sweet spot's going to happen. I feel like that's where the flirting is going to be, and that's where the chemistry is going to be building, is after that first encounter. So let me know if there's anything else you want to donate for, or if that answers your question. Oh my God. I wonder if that's going to make things more awkward in person, to be honest. Like, do you get what I mean? Hey, Bake. Like, I'm wondering if maybe because you guys like are being so unfiltered before meeting, it like makes for an interesting first encounter or something. Aw. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of like me and my husband when we first started dating. Like we really liked being in each other's company. We had a lot of fun. Like you can kind of feel it in the air when there's like something, like some kind of chemistry going on, but nothing really gets explored on the first date. It was like the second date that you kind of like lower your guard, you become more flirty, you start to kind of like see and I don't know, like that's what it's reminding me of, which is why I don't want you to give up on the connection after the first encounter. I want you to like spend more time with this person, you know? You're welcome, Ajaz. I was gonna say she seems shy. That's fun. I'm happy to hear that. It's nice when you meet someone who's putting in the effort. Totally. Thank you, Jazz. You're welcome, girl. Have a good night. All right, Ave, I'm shuffling for you right now. All right, Ave. So, okay. So, I feel for your connection wanting to know why things disconnected. I feel like your person felt like there was a lot of blocks going up against your connection. You state multiple things that can make it difficult for your relationship to have success, to have succeeded. And it's not that you guys couldn't make it work. I'm sure you could make it work. The problem is that there was a lot of natural blocks in place, and it's already hard enough to try to make a relationship work without all of these other things that can make it more difficult, like distance and religion and things like that. So I feel like your person that you're asking about was feeling very heavy about this, feeling frustrated, feeling defeated. Okay. Right. Feeling as if like this really wasn't something that they would be able to progress. Um, Finances is also an issue and a factor here, because if you're going to try to make something work between the two of you and you guys are at a distance, you need finances in order to see each other, meet up with each other, spend time with each other, and maybe see how things develop from there. I do feel like your person had feelings for you, because I have the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Cups, and I feel like your person really liked the idea of where this was going. But the reason for the disconnect, two things. One, you guys had a lot of things going against your connection. And two, I think that there was another like prospect, basically. Like, I don't know if his parents was trying to set him up with someone, or like a family friend was trying to set him up, but I'm getting almost like the opinion of his family had specific expectations of him. And even though there was a connection with you, it's not what his family wanted of him. Because I have the Four of Wands, and this talks about your family involvement, your family ties, what your family expects of you. And I think it's very possible that he was being introduced to someone else, maybe someone closer by, someone of the same background and religion, an easier connection for him, one that was approved by family. It was to Army to tell the family. So I think that that's a possibility, but I don't necessarily think that if he was introduced to someone, I don't necessarily think that it's gone anywhere or that it's going anywhere, because I did ask if you would hear from him again, and I got a yes, that you would hear from him again. I think that he kind of knows what his family expects of him. And I think that you guys just unfortunately had a lot of physical things going against your connection. As I said before, I think that trying to make a relationship work when you're in the same location is hard enough, than to have to add to distance and background and finances and all of that to make something work. So I think maybe for him, reality just hit. And I think that he realized that maybe this would be just too difficult to continue with you. I wish that he would have communicated these things with you, but maybe he was too afraid to sever the connection officially. But I think he'll be back. I think he'll communicate with you. And we have the Judgment card. So I think that he's going to try to come back with answers. He's going to come back to try to provide you clarity, to try to provide answers to your questions, to try to let you know what happened. And I think he's going to come back asking for forgiveness. And I think he's going to come back and try to apologize to you for how things happened. Right. Yeah, I think he'll be back around. Yeah, and I feel like the reason he did that, which is not an excuse, I think that he just didn't want to officially stop your connection. I think he was worried that if he communicated his concerns to you, that you guys would just be over and he would never be able to come back again. And I think that he will be back, and I think he will try to provide answers and give you clarity on what happened. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not sure if he was introduced to another person or if it's just the energy of another person being there. Um, but I feel like his family has certain expectations of him. So either you just didn't meet that criteria and he was worried about letting his family down, or he did he was introduced to someone else, but I don't think it's working out between them if there is another person. So I don't think it's about the other person or anything like that. I think this was more a decision that he made. And I think that he does regret how things happened between the two of you. I thought all this time he left to work on his finances because he was broke, and I don't blame him. Well, I mean, you might be right. You might be right, but I think that's only part of it. Okay. Um, I don't think finances would be the only reason, but I think that it's a huge contributing factor. But I don't think that's enough of a reason to just ghost you, you know? Like you haven't heard from this person for 2 months, 3 months, okay? So I think that there's the bigger issue at play right now. I think it's multiple factors. I think it's a very complex situation. But I think more than anything, he was afraid to have a very direct conversation with you about this, about his concerns, because I think he thought that he wasn't ready to break things off with you officially. And since you guys were not in a relationship and you were just getting to know one another, maybe he thought that this was okay to do this. He thought it was okay to just not communicate, but it's been a long time. So he's definitely has some explaining to do when he comes back around. I'm not sure when, because that's not the question I asked, so I don't know when, to be honest. I mean, intuitively, it didn't feel like soon. You might have to move forward because it didn't feel like something that was going to happen in the next 2 weeks. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. You're welcome. Have a good night. Hey, SB. All right, reading for SB. Sounds good. Well, you just chime in whenever you're ready. So, he really liked the change of pace, is what I'm getting. I felt like maybe he needed that, maybe you needed that, maybe your connection needed that, because As you say, you don't really do that. And maybe he felt like it was a block that got knocked down, kind of like a piñata, if that makes sense, and all the fun stuff came out of it. So I feel like there was kind of this heaviness or this like feeling of like, I don't know, like I think he wanted to get back to a comfortable place with you, like kind of a fun place with you, if that makes sense. And I feel like you kind of broke the ice. So I feel like it was a nice change of pace for him. He goes from feeling like 10 of wands, like heavy and maybe a little like, oh, you know, I just want to be playful with her. I don't want to be so serious. I don't know. There was something going on between you guys. And I feel like now he's saying 8 of wands, all is clear. Everything's going, everything's on all cylinders, everything's working. So I feel like he's excited about this. I think he super enjoyed it. I feel like he also held back a little bit. Like I feel like he wanted to be a little bit more like receptive or maybe like more complimentary than he actually was in return. I think he was just enjoying maybe what you were saying or what it is that you said. And also the fact that it kind of turned into something else is kind of fun. Let's see. How did he feel? He's just like, oh, goodies. This started to make him feel more secure in the connection. We have the Emperor here, so that's always a great card for stabilization. So maybe for a while he was feeling a little like uncertain or not sure like how to act around you or what to say, not wanting to do the wrong thing, say the wrong thing, or like I feel like he wanted to just continue to find ways to make this connection better. And I feel like you did that just very easily, very effortlessly. I'm also seeing his ego being stroked with the Strength card, and I feel like he's somehow, after this conversation, just it made him feel more at ease, more excited. I think that there's a little bit of trouble that you guys have had in the past of being like direct with one another and like saying how you really feel. And for him, I feel like this was just like a really nice change of pace, like just being able to kind of get out of his head and into just like the funness of your connection. So I see him feeling like very relaxed. So not to get graphic here, but if it got steamy, maybe there was some finishing that happened, okay, after this conversation, because I'm seeing him feeling just like much more at ease, much more relaxed after the fact, just very much enjoying the candor, the conversation, the company that you were providing through those conversations. So I don't know, all in all, I think it was a good change. It was a good offer. I think it was a lot of fun for him having these things being said. And again, that just like really made him feel good about himself, and it made him feel good about your connection as well. But like I said, I feel like he almost wanted to like reciprocate a little bit more than what he actually was. So there was definitely a level of like holding back, despite ASB, there was some holding back from him, believe it or not. Despite the conversation at hand, I feel like there was a lot more that he would have liked to have said. But he really appreciates it. It's definitely a compliment that will stick with him for a while. He's saying, for your second question, he's saying he likes your train of thought. He likes where you were going with that. He could tell that you were joking, but with every joke, there's a percentage of truth. So he's like, I like your train of thought. I like where you're going with that, but it's more so in theory right now for him. Like he likes fantasizing about it. He likes thinking about it. It makes him feel connected to you to have that kind of conversation. But at the same time, you didn't scare him away. I just want to be clear. Like if you saying that didn't make things awkward or anything. He basically would say, I like where you're going with that, but let's slow down. Like that's kind of, in his head what he's thinking. Because I think he's saying to himself, like, not really ready for that, but it kind of showed him your commitment. It kind of showed him that you're interested in him for like more than one thing, and that made him feel good about himself. Because I remember doing readings for you at one point, and I was like, he doesn't want you to be with anyone else. Like, I think he's worried about running out of time or someone else scooping you up or something like that. So even if it's a joke, when you say things like this, it makes him feel like you chose him. It makes him feel like this is definitely more than what meets the eye and maybe where you guys are at this time. So he feels, again, more secure, more stable in the connection, because he knows you're not going to joke like that with just anyone. So he felt really good about it, to be honest. Again, I don't think he's ready to do anything crazy right now, but when someone tells you something like this, it makes you feel like important. It makes you feel chosen. It makes you feel seen and special, because people don't just have these kinds of conversations with anyone. I think it made him feel excited. I think he likes the fantasy of it all. We have the devil and the lovers. So he likes the idea of thinking about doing that with you. Okay? But more so the idea of it than the actual execution, if that makes sense. You have fun with it. I was pulling for your channeled messages. Let me finish that real quick. I just saw you donated again. All right, so he says, I like what you do to me. I am healing. This isn't over for me. No one gets me like you do. I love the way you love me. I feel your energy. I adore you. And at the bottom of the deck, I miss you. Then this card just flew out. As I'm putting the cards back in the deck, there's an extra card here. It says, I'm tired of fighting these urges. You know what that means. He wants to give it to you. All right. Let's take a look at your mini reading question. Oh, I'm glad you got to FaceTime. What are his feelings towards her? Yeah, that is nice. I feel like he wants you to know that he's trying to get his life together. Okay. His feelings for you are definitely a priority to him. They are there. They are ever present. Um, any issues that he was having in the past, whether that was like intimacy issues, commitment issues, or even currently like as he's living his life and working through things, I feel like he just wants you to know that he's trying to get his life in order. He's trying to get his life together. That every decision he makes, every move he makes, every choice essentially is a responsible one, or that's how he's perceiving it to be. I feel like he, as far as feelings for you, he like really wants you. I think he really wants to be with you. I feel like I could hear him saying, I want you so badly. There's definitely like a longing for you, a yearning for you. We have the lovers here. So this indicates like a desire, you know, a sexual connection as well as a romantic connection. I feel like he's trying to make sure that you know that he's incorporating you into his decisions. He's incorporating you into his life. He's saying Two of Pentacles. I'm trying to keep this balanced. I'm trying to make sure that she knows that she's still important to me while I have these other things going on. I see him holding on to you very tightly. We have the Four of Pentacles. So he's saying, I'm not going to let her go. I don't want to let her go. I won't let her go, essentially. I feel like the sunshine here, the sun is talking about how happy he is with you, how happy he feels when he talks to you, how much more assured he feels or reassured after you guys are able to connect, because he feels more optimistic. Every time you guys talk, he feels more positive about what could happen or what's going to happen between the two of you. As you mentioned, you just feel more at ease. That's definitely what he's feeling as well. Just not so restless. I think what happens is, you know, you both can get into your head really easily. And when you're not in as constant of communication, it's like our minds can take over and make us feel more uncertain and make us feel more doubt. So it's like whenever you guys do come in contact with one another, you feel more assured. He's saying that he does daydream and fantasize about a life with you one day. The attraction is crazy. The attraction is crazy. He walks away from these conversations feeling more energetic, more excited, more inspired. Page of Wands. I feel like he wants you to know that you're like his person, that you're the person that he wants to tell good news to, the person that he wants to spend his free time talking to. That you're a priority to him, that he desires you in all of the ways, physical, emotional. And I feel like he wants to fulfill your needs as well, SB. So that is what I've got for you, girl. You're welcome. All right, sweets. Have a good night. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the evening. I decided I would only be on for about an hour, and we're about to hit that mark. I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.